Page 22, the Isle of Ecalpon, whatever it is. It's spelled backwards. It means no place if you read the letters backwards. They got a blurb up above about this composer and spelling things backward and so forth. In this video, I'm going to include this piece and the quiz that's on the next page. In this book, they face each other. The facing pages, I don't know. But I'll go ahead and cover the quiz here too. So for this part, we're back in the key of C major. 4/4 time. We just got a lot of broken chords in the right hand here. Yes, that's a chord. Next one. I'm just transferring weight. I'm just rolling here. Second line, first measure. The notes are written here, but it has an 8 VA on it, so you got to go up an octave. You're here. I don't see anything tricky about the right hand, just the 8 VA in the second line, and the fourth line is you're up here. Is all. The last two measures in the right hand, you're here. Cross over and get the 2. You have to be able to do that sort of thing in piano, so do it. Just do it. Don't do any wrist contortions and all this stuff to try and get you there. Just relax the hand and let it go across. On the left hand, all we have are the chords. Now on this, look at the first measure here. You have this note, you have this chord. If you take all those notes at the same time, you have this chord. It's a C chord in extended position, and this is the fingering for the chord. It's the fourth finger on the E. When I get things like this, I like to finger them in a way that I don't have to move the hands around so much. So in this first measure, and a 4-2-1 on the chord. Same thing, second measure, third measure, it's fine. Fourth measure I have to move because that's too far. And I'm going to do that all throughout this whole thing. When I get the C chord, I'm going to do it here, and it's fourth finger on the E. That's the left hand. Left hand has to be soft because everything's in the right hand. So you go to 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Now watch the rest in the right hand or the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3. Another reason why we put the pedal in last, because we would like to hear it the way it's written first, because the pedal is going to mess that up. The way they want it pedaled is this way. They want it pedaled in such a way that you're going to rest. It's going to connect them. They're pedaling the first 2 beats of each measure until you get down to the end, and then they're pedaling. I'll talk about the pedaling at the end. That's different. Let's just do this pedaling here throughout this piece. Is 2 beats per measure, or 2 beats in each measure. The first, I'll get there. Give me a chance. That's the first 2 beats in each measure. Yeah. I'm going to push the note down first and then the pedal. The whole thing is that pedal that way until you get to the last measure here. I'm lifting the pedal up on the 4th beat because it's a rest. I don't see any point in having a rest if you're going to pedal through it like that. They want you to pedal all the way to the end until you lift the right hand. Off. You can, I suppose, but to me it's purer if I lift the pedal up with on the 4th beat, so it's here. And the C is by itself for 1 beat. You try either way, do the way that you like the sound better. It's a personal preference thing. So I'm going to play now this is March Scherzando, which is a fun thing. Sort of a prankish thing, a tricky thing. So how fast that is, I don't know for sure, but it's not slow. I mean, you could play it slow if you needed a prelude for something. Play this and just play it slow. That works. But here, etc. throughout the whole thing. Dynamic wise, they don't really give you anything. It's MF at the beginning, that's it. So it's up to you to decide how you fluctuate a little bit, come down and up a little bit from, don't do them all the same, but it's up to you. So I'm going to do this really slowly. If you'd like to play along, come on, go ahead. 1, 2, ready and go, and 1 and... So on page 23 of this book, they have Schaum Piano Quiz number 1. I like to go through that. So if you'd like to do it first, then pause it here. I'll put the starting point for this quiz in the description, so you can come back to it later if you want to. But I'm about to give you all the answers, so hang in there. Number 1, 4/4 was the favorite rhythm of Johann Strauss Jr., and that is false, because if you remember, he was considered the waltz king, and a waltz is in 3/4 time. So his key or time signature would have been 3/4 time. Number 2, a medley contains parts of several different pieces, and that is true. That's what a medley is. You take bits and pieces of different melodies or from different pieces, and you stick them together into one piece. That's what the BBB thing was. Number 3, there's music in the air, in quotes, was written by Chopin, and that is false. It was not written by, go look, it's in the book, go look it up, you'll see it. A blocked chord is number 4. A blocked chord is the opposite of a broken chord, and I'm assuming that's true. I'm assuming that's what they want, because you either have block or broken. Block is all the notes at one time, and broken is any other thing, anything else. So if you want to consider them opposites, that's all right. You go right ahead. Number 5, Radetzky was a great musician. No, he was a military general. It happens to be the name of a march, so no, he's not a musician. As far as I know, he wasn't a musician. Number 6, this signature, and I have one sharp, represents E minor, and that is true. It does represent E minor. It also represents G major, but that's not part of the question. No. Number 7, the key signature of G minor has 2 flats, and that is also true. It's the relative minor of B flat majors, 2 flats. Number 8, the melodic minor is the most important minor scale. That's a matter of opinion. Number 9, In the Hall of the Mountain King, in quotes, was written by Peer Gynt, and that is wrong, false. It was written by Grieg. It's part of a suite called Peer Gynt. Number 10, the composer Gauberts spelled his name backwards, and that is actually sort of true. Look on page 22. Read the paragraph up above. It's backwards. I mean, the Streabbog is Gaubert backwards. So, technically, we don't know if he spelled the name backwards or his publishers did, but somebody spelled it backwards. So. Number 11, in 6/8 time, counts 1 and 3 are the natural accents, so that is false. It's 1 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those are the natural accents. Can be. There are others, but right now that's what we're dealing with. Number 12. There should be a slight release at the end of each phrase mark. That is true. That helps to separate the phrases. Number 13, Johann Strauss Sr. was known as the Waltz King, and that's actually false. It was Junior, his son. Although Sr. wrote waltzes also, his son was really the one who was famous for the waltzes. Number 14, scherzando means slow, and that's false. Scherzando is not a speed. Well, sort of. I guess you could call. I don't know. It's prankish. There are a lot of pieces called scherzos that are musical pranks. If you listen to them, you think, what's going on? And scherzando is just kind of it's not slow. It's on the faster side, actually. Yeah. Number 15, the counting for this measure is correct. And you have to see the measure. It's 6/8 time. Eighth note, quarter note, eighth rest, quarter note is what it is. And it's showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The quarter note's on 2 and the other quarter note's on 5. And the answer is it's true. It is correct. Number 16, Rachmaninoff was a Russian composer and pianist. That is true. He was. Number 17, in 4/4 time, this note, they're showing an eighth note, will get one count. And that's false. It gets a half a count. A quarter note gets one count in 4/4 time. Number 18, and they give you some more music, and it is counted correctly. They're showing a 4/4 time, a quarter note, eighth note, quarter note, eighth note, eighth rest. You can write them down. And it's showing 1, 2 for the quarter note, and right there it's wrong, because in 4/4 time a quarter note gets one count. So beat 2 has to be something else. So without even talking about the rest of it, it's already wrong on the first one. So it's false. Number 19, the scale of A minor doesn't have any sharps or flats in the signature, and that is true. A minor and C major are relative. No sharps or flats in the signature. Number 20, my fourth finger is stronger than my second. Well, I can't speak for your fourth finger or second. The fourth finger is one of the weaker fingers. The second finger is one of the stronger fingers. So I figure that must be false. And that's quiz number 1.